little microphone here. I'm going a little bit later. I'm going live a little bit later than what I had planned to. I'm trying to get more into a routine with you guys where, you know, at a certain time, I'm going to be on there, on here, I should say. But, you know, it's his life. I don't know. But also, you all notice I'm a little hip hop today. I'm a little hip hop. She's a little hip hop today. But nonetheless, right? I'm here with the King of Pop, right? With you guys. And today I actually wanted us to talk about 20 cool facts that you may or may not have known about the King of Pop. I was a little hesitant to do this because I felt like, you know what? I know that my subscribers know a hell of a lot about MJ. And you know what? For today, we'll make this MJ actually stand for Michael Jackson, okay? I just realized that I'm like, man, I'm wearing the other MJ. Although they did collaborate together before. But nonetheless, right. Let me get back to it. So just remember, this is not Michael Jordan. This is Michael Jackson for today, okay? So we got MJ, okay. But anyway, so, but yeah, I was a little hesitant to do today's topic because I felt like you guys already know so much. But as I was kind of reading through it, I was like, this is quite a few different little facts, MJ facts I actually did not know. Then again, I'd let you guys know I am not by any means a Michael Jackson expert. A lot of times you guys will correct me in the community chat. I post stuff, maybe the date is wrong or whatever, and you guys are always really good at that. And I appreciate it. You guys are never stepping on my toes by making a correction or letting me know something needs to be corrected, because I am in no way a Michael Jackson expert. However, I am a huge fan, just like you guys are. So, like I say, as I was reading through the MJ facts, I was like, okay, I didn't know that one. So let's have a little fun with it, you guys. So I have 20. I was a little ambitious at first. I'm like, because I was reading through and it was like 50. But I kind of narrowed it down to 20. And if you guys like this, I'll do it more often, and I'll kind of make it it'll start getting a little bit more lengthy as we go. Or as I have more future lives that are around facts about MJ. But I kind of narrowed it down for 20 because I wanted to hop on here real quick with you guys. And like I said, I'm trying to make this a little bit of a routine. So if you guys like it, please do let me know. And then let's do something fun with it too. Let's kind of grade, give yourself a grade in terms of just how much of an MJ fan you are, right? So you could kind of score your fandom, if that's a word at all, I don't know. But you can kind of score where you're at with it, okay? So we got 20 questions. Personally, I would say if you get, more than 15 right, then you're up there, right? I give it like an A, B, right? Maybe, I don't know, if you get 10 or less, that's like a 50, that's failing. I don't know how to score, but you guys get the feel, right? So as we go through this, you guys can kind of check off just how many, and maybe some of you guys might get them all. I don't know, but for me, I thought it was pretty cool. And the way that I have these scaled is not necessarily like, countdown. Although that is an idea. Maybe moving forward, I will do kind of like a countdown thing with it. But no, this is just like me listing out 20 in no particular order. Like I say, some that for me was like an aha moment, or I didn't know that, might be nothing to you guys. So also it's a little difficult for me to kind of scale. It depends on where you're at as a MJ fan, right? So this is kind of like the litmus test, okay? So fact number one, you guys. Oh, and also if you guys are writing anything into the chats, like I say, until I kind of switch it up, and then maybe you guys aren't writing some in the chat, I don't know. But until I'm actually able to switch it up, because right now I'm using my mobile, and I probably need I don't know. I know there's other creators, YouTubers that have like special equipment where they could have stuff pop up and all that. So, and all that cool stuff, green screens. Maybe in the future we'll have an MJ green screen, and I don't know. Makes me want to dance, but I can't play any MJ music because I'll get a copyright strike. Kind of sucks. But anyway, okay, so let's get this started. So number one, you guys, I hope you guys could hear me. I should do a little mic check. I hope I'm not real loud in your ears, you guys. Okay, so number one, Thriller. Did you know this? Did you know? Thriller was originally titled Starlight. The decision came down to a marketing appeal, right? Which I cannot even picture. And I'm not like just trying to like gas you guys up, but like I cannot picture Thriller ever being called Starlight like that. Like Thriller was a Thriller album, like, you know what I mean? So I guess that's where it boils down to the whole marketing appeal, I guess. Interesting though, Starlight, I don't know. I could see, okay, Starlight, maybe Starlight, I'm thinking of dusk till dawn, I'm thinking of twilight, you know, maybe that's where he was going with it, right? Vampires, and I don't know. But yeah, Thriller would, by chance, could have been called Starlight. Okay, maybe in another universe, I don't know, multi-dimensional, I don't know, whatever. And okay, PYT, Pretty Young Thing, was never, this is number two. Number two, PYT, Pretty Young Thing, was never performed live by MJ. I did not know that. Love it. Pretty young thing, and I'll take you there. I want to love you. I can't believe that he didn't ever perform that, like ever. Interesting. Did you guys know that? Did you? I didn't know that. Okay. Number three, Michael Jackson's 1991 album, Dangerous, was hot property. Meaning, when I say hot, I mean it was literally hot property. 5 days before its release, 3 armed men broke into the music warehouse in LA and stole 3,000 copies. So that's crazy. That is crazy. I'm not shocked because anything, you know, might turn to gold, platinum. So, you know, I guess they just saw dollar signs before its release. But that is crazy. I didn't know that. So far, I've named 3, you guys. Are 3 of them that you guys know already? Okay, where are we at in our litmus test for our fandom? Okay, number 4. The music video in Scream was at the time in 1995, back in the Disney, that it was the most expensive ever produced with a healthy budget of $7 million. We know he did Scream with his, you know, starring his sister, Janet Jackson. But that was the most expensive ever produced. That was a $7 million budget. Wow. I mean, it was a pretty awesome, that was a pretty awesome video, music video. It was a lot of very cool techie stuff. They were upside down on the ceiling and all that. So I guess that cost a lot of coins. But it was a very cool music video. I did not know it was a $7 million budget. And I wonder within that budget, what was like, that's what the amount of money that they had allotted to spend toward the production of it. But I wonder how much they actually spent out of it. I wonder though. Just curious. Maybe they spent the whole 7. I don't know. Very cool video. Okay, moving on, you guys. All right. And if you guys know the answers to some of these, as you watch, if you guys want to, you know, put your score down, how many out of 20 did you get right? Maybe you got them all. Maybe you knew it. Maybe this was just like, you know, whatever, child's play, you know, these special facts that I'm reading off. But I thought they were pretty fascinating. Okay, so number 5, you guys. Now this is one I didn't know. I knew this one. Number 5, that Michael Jackson was born in Gary, Indiana. and still remains the city's most famous resident. I knew that. And Gary, Indiana is neighbors to my city. Okay, so it's nothing but a hop, skip, and a jump, and I have been known to frequent Indiana when going to the casino. Okay, so just wanted you guys to know that. But yeah, that was one I did know. All right, so how are we doing so far, you guys? 5. We're already 5 in. All right. Moving on. Moving on to number 6. Michael's parents had this one I kind of knew. I knew this one. I didn't know exact, but this one I kind of knew. Okay, so I'm kind of patting myself on the back a little bit with this one. Okay. Number 6, Michael's parents had musical ambitions of their own. Mother Catherine, she played the piano and the clarinet, and the father was a guitarist. So I did hear that they were, at one time musicians themselves, but I didn't know the exact instruments that they played. I did not know that. Fascinating. Oh, also, not to have ADD, but I'm just wondering, like, what is your opinions on this? Obviously, because I always wonder, it's always interesting to me when, parents, maybe they were once athletes and they start their kids off really, really young to get off into whatever sport maybe that they used to play, or, whatever, when kids are kind of thrown into, to finish walking the path of their parents. Like, what do you guys think of that? Clearly, I'm not saying that it was wrong, because, Michael Jackson, his brothers, but especially Michael Jackson, was a gift to the planet, not just, to the United States, to our nation, but just to the entire world. So clearly the path of music, entertainment, all of that was the right path. So don't get me wrong, right? I don't want any comments where you guys are saying like, what was she talking about? But I just mean that I always think like, man, like, is that right ethically? I don't know. Like, I mean, clearly it worked, but I don't know. You guys can write your opinions down in the chat. Let me know what you think. I don't know. To me, it just seems kind of like, let your children kind of choose their own path. You know what I mean? Like, you could show them how to play instruments, but like, are you really going to set that out to be what they have to do? I don't know. But it worked, and I'm so glad for Papa Joe and Mother Catherine for leading them all in the direction of music, because it was just phenomenal. Okay, moving on. I'm sorry. That was my side banter. That was just my side banter. But moving on to number 7. Number 7, first public performance for Michael Jackson for the King of Pop was in 1963 as a 5-year-old. How cute. Baby Michael, when he performed at a kindergarten event at Garnett Elementary School. I think that's cute. That one I didn't know, but I'm not surprised, because that's just, even for those of us that are not not real performers, or, not celebrity stars, musicians and all that. Most of us have at least done that, where we've gotten on stage with the rest of the class for whatever, whatever performance. So I thought that was cute. But yeah, so that was one I didn't technically know, but I'm not shocked. Okay. Moving on to number 8. And remember, you guys are keeping score out of 20. This is kind of our litmus test for, how much of a fan we are of MJ, or how knowledgeable, I should say. Not how much of a fan, but how knowledgeable we are on the subject matters of MJ. Do we know our shit, basically, okay? But anyway, number 8. So he made his recording debut at the age of 9 on Big Boy by the Jackson 5, which was released by a small label at the time in January of 1968. It did not sell in large numbers, but it was enough to let larger labels know that the kids had talent. So that's kind of, which I think is also a good example of why we should never like give up, even if something isn't exactly how we wanted to begin with. You know, sometimes you got to kind of crawl before you could walk, and walk before you could run, sort of thing. But yeah, so that was his first debut as a little 9-year-old, because as we know, you know, Mike had been doing it since the cradle. Okay, very young. Number 9, moving on. He began touring as an 8-year-old as an opening for shows across America's Midwest. So he was touring, really, I guess 9 could have been number 8 and number 8 could have been number 9. But so he began touring as an 8-year-old, which I wasn't aware of that exact age. Not that exact age, but I knew he started touring very young. So he started touring as an 8-year-old, opening for shows across America's Midwest. And by the age of 9, he did his first recording, debut recording, okay, on Big Boy. Okay, interesting. Okay, you guys, all right. We're almost halfway done. We're almost halfway through. Number 10. Now this, I had heard about a little bit, but this is something, right? I heard the Beatles had a similar experience. But so this is number 10, that Berry Gordy initially was not a fan of Michael and his brothers. And he dismissed the idea of signing them to his label until he eventually was convinced to give them a chance. And he signed them in 1969, okay? Which we know that Diana Ross had a lot to do with that, at least my understanding of it. Let me know if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that Diana Ross had a lot to do with that, convincing Barry to sign them on, which that was just, thank you, Barry. You know, he was, by him doing that, he graced the rest of the world with, you know, the Jackson 5, which led on to Michael's solos and all of that. But yeah, I heard that the Beatles had a similar, like they were turned down so many times before finally they got a yes. So, you know, again, lessons that we're learning, you don't give up, just keep going. And yeah, that would have been a huge, like, ouch moment for Barry. You know, let's just say he hadn't signed them. They got signed by someone else and still went on to, you know, trailblaze like they did. I know Barry would have been kicking himself a few times over. I do believe that. So how are we doing, guys, so far? Huh? We're 10. We're literally now, I'm going to number 11. We got 20, right? So we're about to be over halfway through. So hopefully you guys are getting a few in. All right, number 11. And if you guys are not, don't feel bad, because like I say, a lot of this stuff, some of it I didn't know. I kind of heard about some of it, but I just literally, I did not know. So don't beat yourself up. Number 11. Michael, this I did know. This one I did know. Okay. So Michael always had his ear to the clubs and was said to have frequented the famous New York City club Studio 54, where he allegedly was exposed to beatboxing and, you know, kind of started incorporating that more into his music, that sound. But yeah, that I did, because I think I saw some footage of like MJ in the back of like a limo, and I don't know who the other person or people were, but they were excited, and it looked like young Michael too. It looked like maybe Victory Tour Michael, maybe Thriller, but I'm thinking more like Victory Tour Michael. And he was excited because he was on his way to Studio 54. So that one I did know. Pat myself on the back. You got it right, pat yourself on the back too. Number 12. Okay, this one I did not know. If you all know, okay, good, you know, but I didn't know this one. So Michael's first rhinoplasty, his first nose job, was actually due to him breaking his nose during dance practice. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And, you know, not to get too far off track, you guys, but if you think about it, a lot of, it doesn't mean that he would not have gotten a nose job eventually. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But a lot of Michael's appearance, a lot of his life circumstances, a lot of it just had to do by chance, if you really think about it. Like his first nose job wasn't necessarily him making the conscious decision of like, okay, you know, yeah, I want to change my face up. I want to get a nose job. No, like he was in practice and he broke his nose. And being a performer where he's on stage and just, you know, in the spotlight all the time, of course he got his nose fixed and, you know, had changes done to that. 2, the change of his appearance physically. You know, Michael had vitiligo. Think about it. Yeah, he had vitiligo, really, really blotchy, patched up, and I've seen images of that, and he had it really bad. You got all the eyes, all spotlights are on you. What are you going to do when your body is physically, you're going through a serious like metamorphosis, and all spotlights, all eyes are on you. He had to go with what he had most of, which was a lot of white blotches, and just change out that appearance. Okay, well, even from his hair, the fire, you know, while filming the commercial, that's huge. So then from there was, I'm okay. I don't want to get too far off track because we're focused. But I'm just saying, if you think about it, a lot of his stuff was really by chance. And then even his issues with, allegedly with, you know, drug abuse, prescription drug abuse, they say started when his hair caught fire, his scalp, and he needed pain killers, which, as we know, a lot of prescription drugs, unfortunately, can be addictive. So a lot of like his appearance, his life circumstances, a lot of that had to do by chance. If you really think about it, it's really fascinating to me. Okay, so not to digress too far off, you guys. I don't want you to click off. My screensaver said I'm gonna click off. I don't like that. Okay. But anyway, moving on to number 13. We're already on number 13, you guys. So let me know in the chat so far how you guys are doing, because by now you should know whether you're getting an A, whether you're getting a B, where you're at in the litmus test, right? Because, okay, we're on number 13 already. All right, number 13. I didn't know this, and I thought this was actually kind of funny. This was pretty funny to me. Number 13, the 1979 Rock With You, which was a jam. I wanna with you all night, dance you in the sunlight. Okay, but anyway, 1979, sorry guys, ADD, okay. But 1979 Rock With You was originally called, I Want to Eat You Up. Yes. But it was they chose that not to do it because it was deemed too risque, which I can see why, saying I want to eat you up. But I can't picture Rock With You called I Want to Eat You Up. Okay, Michael, he was kind of nasty. Look at Mike. Michael's kind of nasty. Okay, he's talking about eating people up and stuff. But anyway, yes, so that was one I didn't know. So if you guys knew that one, pat yourself on the back. I would, even if you knew that one, in my opinion, if you knew that one, even if you didn't know any of these other ones, I'm going to give you an A. Because that's some shit I didn't know. I did not know. And I would never have guessed it. Okay? Moving on to number 14. We're on number 14 already. So, the Tears in She's Out of My Life. She's out of my life. Okay, let me stop. I'm sorry, guys. But I do sing a good Butterflies. Maybe on the next live, I'll sing that. But I do sing a good Butterflies. I'm not going to do it now. But yeah, anyway, the Tears and She's Out of My Life. If you guys remember, I think I saw that music video once or twice or something, but I've heard the song before. But the Tears and She's Out of My Life was said to have been real. That Michael Jackson, they said he would break down in tears at the end of each studio take. Okay, Mike was going through it. They said that 8 to 11 takes of that song, he cried at the end. And Quincy Jones said, just keep it in. He should probably be crying anyway, you know, based off the lyrics of the song. Just leave it. So, wow. So what do you got? Who do you all think he was crying over? I mean, we could speculate. We could say, I don't know. Who we gonna say? Who was Diana Ross? I don't know. I don't know. Who was Mike crying over? You don't just cry like that 8 to 11 times on a take if you're not really feeling some heartbreak. Curious. Just saying. You guys can drop it in the chat if you guys know. All right, moving on. Number 15. And this is just sad, but this is kind of, well, I shouldn't, I'm not going to beat up on, America because we're great. But this is kind of messed up that Billie Jean was the first video by an African American to air on MTV. Now, we could say that's accredited to genres of music and say that only possibly certain ethnic cultures sing certain songs, and because of that, but for Michael Jackson to have been the first African American to have their music video air on MTV, to me is like, that's pretty bogus, MTV. But I guess eventually, all barriers have to be broken and new standards made. So, progress, I hope. But yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know. Also, since we're on the subject of Billie Jean, that brings us to number 16. That kind of rhymed, didn't it? Billie Jean, number 16. Billie Jean. Now, this I did know. This I had heard before, that Billie Jean doesn't exist. There's no Billie Jean somewhere with a 30-year-old child saying that Michael Jackson was her baby daddy, okay? They're saying that Billie Jean doesn't exist and that it was just based off a composite of women that Michael Jackson said, his brothers were kind of plagued with over the years, right? So maybe some of the groupies that may have experienced some one-nighters or something, I don't know. With one of the brothers of the Jackson 5, maybe they were coming back like, don't act like you don't know them. Look at those eyes. I don't know. Just saying. But yeah, so there's no Billie Jean out there. So that one I did know. Number 17. Off the Wall. This, I had I'd always like to kind of say whether I knew it first or not, right? Because I want my credit first. But this one, I heard something about this, but this was still a surprise to me. So I guess I won't give myself full credit. Fine. But anyway, number 17, Off the Wall helped to fuel Thriller. Let me say that again. Off the Wall helped to fuel Thriller. Meaning that supposedly Michael Jackson, he was irked, which I can understand that, especially being an artist, you're doing your best, you're putting out all of you, and he was irked that Off the Wall didn't win the Grammy Record of the Year. That kind of irked him. He's like, are you serious? Are you serious? Apparently they were. But Thriller went on to win a record-breaking 8 Grammys in 1984. So, I know Michael said in your face, okay? So, sometimes our losses can fuel our victories, right? And there are like they say, there's no real losses because there's always something to learn, and then you go back and you do better. So I guess that's what Michael's mantra must have been, because he did his thing. So where you got, are we still scoring ourselves? Where we at? So moving on to number 18. Remember, there's 20. Number 18, MJ's final studio album, Invincible, was still the best-selling album of 2001. And that was despite moderate reviews. Because, like toward then there, Mike, he endured a lot of scrutiny. And I would say, I don't think it was just based off, it was real, like, I want to say, what's the word? Valid criticisms. I think a lot of like them criticizing his album and stuff had to do probably with a lot of controversy and things like that that always seemed to surround him, and got kind of worse toward the latter bit of his life. But in 2001, despite his moderate reviews for Invincible, it still was best-selling album of the year of 2001. So bam. Okay, I know Mike said in your face. What did he do? Didn't he do the, okay, I know he probably did that somewhere. Okay, but anyway, I'm sorry, I'm being really silly. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me let me be a little bit more professional acting. I hope you guys can hear me. I hope you guys didn't get too much static. I keep forgetting that I have this mic on and I'm moving all around, and I hope I'm not just doing way too much. But anyway, number 20. This is the last one. Last one, Mike. Mike, it's the last one. So this this is the last one. Okay. Number 20. This is a cute one. This is one I didn't know. This isn't like I said, we're not doing like a countdown, like one you'd never believe, which maybe kind of gives me ideas for future lives, but we'll do like a countdown thing. But no, this just so happens to be number 20. And then if it was a countdown, I would be saying number 1, right? I guess. Okay, don't judge me. But anyway, number 20, The Way You Make Me Feel. The way you make me feel, the way you make me feel, you really turn me on. Okay, but anyway, number 20, The Way You Make Me Feel, was Michael's mother's request. So we actually have Mama Catherine to thank for that, because she asked him to write something with a little shuffling kind of rhythm. So she was, I guess she said like, well, how about something, she gave him a little inspiration with that. And based off of her request, Mike came up with The Way You Make Me Feel. Oh, so I hope that you guys have enjoyed about 32 minutes. My goal eventually, and I guess that's as you guys start leaving things in the chat and it really does become more of an open discussion, my ultimate goal eventually is for it to be at least about an hour, but it would be based off like an open, discussion, because it's live. But like I say, then again, I am on my mobile device, and me being on my mobile device, I don't know. And then I probably too need to wear some glasses, which I might do. I probably need to wear some glasses too, because I'm thinking like if stuff was scrolling up, could I really catch it? I'd be like this close to the screen, you guys, like this, trying to read it. And you guys would be like, but anyway, but yeah, I had so much fun with this. If you guys like, countdowns, because I was just going to do a topic. And then somehow I just fell down the rabbit hole of that is the King of Pop. And I ran into this list. And while reading the list, I came upon so many different ones that really was like, I didn't know that. So I thought it would be fun to just kind of test, because I know you guys know your SHIT. So I just thought it would be fun to kind of test you guys with some of this. Again, do not feel bad if you didn't get too many correct, because I didn't get too many correct because I didn't know. But then again, I never claim to be an expert. I'm just a regular old Michael J. Well, he is Michael J., but Michael Jackson fan who also happens to be a content creator. So I just kind of, but anyway, but if you guys like me doing countdowns, if you guys like this, let me know. And I will try to, come up with more eventually down the line. If you guys would like a longer list, let me know. Let me know. What else, you guys? What else? You guys want to see my little setup here? Next time, should I have my candle burning for you all? Should we do like, or is that too like creepy since we got, is that too creepy since we have MJ's picture up? Will it seem like I'm trying to like, I don't know, do a seance or something? I don't know. But next time I might have my little candle burning or something, just for like a really cool vibe, right? Because we're vibing over here. Y'all see my little flowers and stuff. What else? Oh, also, if you guys, of course, I gotta throw this in there. If you guys have not done so already, please do check out my website, which is LilahMichelle.com. I don't know why I just did it that way. I don't know. If this was pre-taped, I would cut that out because that was not my intention. But yeah, it's LilahMichelle.com. You could check it out. On there I have different social media links, but I also have merchandise on there. If you click on the link, it'll take you to my spring tee, and I have a lot of gear that is Michael Jackson fan focused, but I also have gear that is other celebrity, because as you all know on YouTube, I do call myself a celebrity content. What do I call myself? A celebrity entertainer. Oh God. If this, okay, you guys are lucky that I'm live, because if this was pre-taped, that would so be cut out. I forgot. I'm tired. It's late, you guys. I don't know where you guys are at, but where I'm at in Chicago, it's getting late and I got to get up early to go to work. But yeah, I call myself celebrity entertainment content creator, and I call myself a celebrity entertainment content creator because I create a lot of content around celebrities and entertainment. Michael Jackson will always be king of my heart. So of course, you know, this whole YouTube just is like dedicated to his memory, his music, his talent. But on other social media platforms like TikTok, I do have other entertainers that I cover. A lot of them are still somehow intertwined with Michael anyway. I have Michael Jackson on there anyway, but I also have a lot of other entertainers that, you know, somehow either reference. I have Chris Tucker on, you know, it's always some kind of reference on top of me also having MJ content on there. So if you guys want to check me out on TikTok, even though I know hopefully it won't, let's just cross our fingers and hope that everything gets figured out. Let's visualize that TikTok does not get banned and all the world's problems and troubles are resolved. Okay, let's just take a moment of silence. Okay, you know, but if you guys are not afraid to go on there, you guys can check it out. I have a lot of content on there. Also, I very recently started up my Instagram. I had Instagram before, but I had it for other projects. But I finally recently started up an Instagram account for Lilah Michelle, which is under I Am Lilah Michelle. I Am Lilah Michelle. It's all together. It's no underscores. It's I Am Lilah Michelle on Instagram. You guys can check me out over there. And what else? I'm just gonna, if you guys need a little encouragement, this is my website, Lilah Michelle. Okay, this is my regular website. As I mentioned before, if you scroll through it, it has merch. You can click on that. You can click shop all. There's media. It has different links. And then content, if you contact, if you want to subscribe and just be part of the list. If you click on contact, then it's also nice because it also gives my Gmail account as well. That's on there. If you guys want to check it out, you can sign up and it says let's connect. Okay. So I had so much fun with you guys. If you guys could probably tell, if you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for? Subscribe. You could also hit the bell so that anytime I upload new content or I go live like I did today, you will be the first to know. And I look forward to reading all your comments, and I will see you guys later. Bye. See you guys. Good night.